Killed Osama bin Laden have many concerned that too much information was made public.
Frankly, a week ago Sunday in the Situation Room, we all agreed that we would not release any operational details from the effort to take out bin Laden. That all fell apart on Monday, the next day.
Well, can those details compromise the safety of the SEALs and their families? And should they have been kept secret? Here to grade Washington's handling of the sensitive information, Caroline Hellman, Associate Professor at Occidental College, Masha Saidi Azquay, former New York City prosecutor, and Penny Nance, who is the CEO of Concerned Women for America. Welcome to all of you. There was a significant controversy over whether we should have been releasing a lot of the information. Masha, let me ask you, from your perspective, give me a grade. How well did the administration handle the protection of classified information?
I think there has been a constant stream of classified information released, and some of it is to satisfy the public, but other things like the existence of a CIA safe house, there is no reason to reveal that information. So despite a stellar performance on the mission, I'm going to have to give them a C.
A C.
For the aftermath.
Penny, how do you grade the performance of the administration?
Oh, I'm a hard grader. You should know that.
A lot of red lines on your papers.
Yeah. So you know, Governor, I represent 500,000 national security hawks at Concerned Women for America, and we're thrilled, of course, of the outcome of the operation. But I think this administration was so excited to get the bump in polling that they bungled the post-op. And I'll tell you one thing: we did not want to know all the information that we heard. I don't want to see any dead bodies. I don't want to know any classified information, unless, of course, it demeans the enemy, which was the information about pornography, and I'm glad they put that out there.
Yeah, it kind of did show. What is your grade? How do you give them?
I gave them an F.
Ooh, we got a big old flag on that one.
Sorry, flag on the plate.
You know, you mentioned the pornography, and I think it's interesting to note that there's a lot of hypocrisy that has been shown.
Absolutely.
That Osama bin Laden ordered out all these American products like Coke and Pepsi, even though these are evil influences of the horrible West. There was pornography and alcohol and soft drinks and SUVs, everything that he's supposed to hate. What a hypocrite. What a phony. All right, let's go to Caroline. Caroline, do you want to give us sort of an opinion of the minority here? Do you think it was a great effort out there in releasing the information?
You know, I do, Governor. I'm going to give the Obama administration an A. I think they're playing classic psychological warfare here with the release of information about pornography and also the tape showing bin Laden watching himself as this kind of self-obsessed performer. I don't think we know many details, but what we do know is what they've released and said, look, for other al-Qaeda operatives, we know what you're going to do because your leader was sloppy. He didn't practice what he preached, and this is what might happen to you if you engage in these activities. So I think it's classic, brilliant psychological warfare.
But I get the idea of telling about the pornography and even that he's sitting there watching himself on television and dyeing his beard. I mean, we see the phoniness. But why the release of all the information of how many hard drives were found? Doesn't that just tell the rest of al-Qaeda? Don't we also give up a lot of operational details of what we did and the use of the dogs and how many people were in on the mission? I mean, that's stuff that I'm not sure I need to know, and I'm not a national security threat, but why on God's earth would we tell our enemies that sort of stuff?
Well, Governor, I think that it was to substantiate the fact that he was so sloppy, and they're providing very specific detail, not about what is on the hard drives, right, but the fact that we found so many, basically telling al-Qaeda worldwide anything that this man was involved with, we now know something about that. So again, I think it's sending a message here.
All right, we're going to take another topic. Let's take a look at a little piece of sound. This is Mitt Romney, who is talking about the health care bill in Massachusetts and its similarity to Obamacare. Watch.
A lot of pundits around the nation are saying that I should just stand up and say this whole thing was a mistake. But there's only one problem with that. It wouldn't be honest. I, in fact, did what I believed was right for the people of my state.
All right, we're going to real quickly get to this. Mitt Romney's got an issue, according to the Wall Street Journal and other pundits, as to whether he can reconcile his plan and Obamacare. Penny, how did he do? Let's give Mitt Romney... Ooh.
I gave him a D. Of course, I should...
That's not for dandy
I should have first asked whether he wanted to gain votes with that speech or not. He certainly didn't win any. 26 states have gone to court over the individual mandate, and he affirmed his position on it. I think he's got... I told my kids, and they didn't know what I was talking about. I think he's got the Fonzie problem. problem. He doesn't know how to say he's sorry. And I think he could take a page from the playbook of Tim Pawlenty. Tim Pawlenty said he had some clunkers out there, and there were some laws that he signed that he wished he hadn't, and he owned it, and he apologized for it, and he walked it back, and I think that's what Romney should have done. I think he's made a big mistake.
All right, Caroline, I can always count on you to have the contrarian position, so let me see what you come up with on a grade for the way Mitt Romney has handled the health care issue.
Well, Governor, I feel very bad for him. I give him a C because I think what he did is political truth-telling, which in the current environment, I think the country is basically ungovernable because of the way media attacks everyone. But poor Mitt Romney came out and said, look, I went from 500,000 uninsured to 100,000 uninsured, didn't raise taxes. He stood behind his plan, so he told the truth about its benefits, but to great political detriment. He really can't tell the truth if he wants to run for president, unfortunately.
All right, Masa, you get the last word on this one. Mitt Romney, how do you grade him on his speech this week?
I also agree that he was candid. He doesn't want to say that Romney Care was a mistake because he doesn't believe that it was a mistake. The big problem is I still don't understand how the individual mandate is good for Massachusetts, but when it comes to the nation, it's an unconstitutional power grab. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to give him a C for just making an illogical argument, Governor.
Well, he didn't at least flaunt like... There we go. Thanks, Caroline, Masa, and Penny. We appreciate very much the report card this week. Well, the massive flooding of the Mississippi is forcing thousands to have to flee their homes, but it also has kept customers away from stores and suppliers from being able to deliver their products. The flood's cost on business is next. Stay with us.